Alright, this next video goes out to all of the indie game developers out there that reach out to YouTubers like myself to try to get them to cover their video games. I'm on a lot of mailing lists now, because for 6 months to a year there, I was trying to really record a bunch of, cover, it involved recording, a bunch of indie games when I was doing gaming on the main channel. Now, I no longer do gaming on the main channel, and I don't cover indie games at all at the moment, simply because I'm not really doing gaming stuff. Here on the gaming channel, I'm hopefully trying to transition back to that, and so I will move that stuff over. But from that, I'm on a ton of mailing lists for PR groups like Evolve PR and Nova PR and a bunch of others. And then I'm on a bunch of lists that get sent around to actual individual developers or publishers who contact me. So this video goes out to those developers. Not the publishers and PR like groups do a good job because that's their job. The individual developers that contact me or contact YouTubers, this video is going out to you. There's one really big thing in here that I want to hit on that just bugs me and it's really bothering me recently, but I also want to throw in a couple other tips to just give this video more value. So, a couple things about emails I'm getting. The email should include what your game is about, what kind of game it is, etc. or on what platform it's on. These seem obvious, but I've gotten a lot of emails that are really nothing more than, hey, could you come check out my game? And the game name. So your email needs to tell me what it's about, what kind of game it is. Email needs to provide a link to the game, to a demo, to your website, to all of the above, especially if it costs money, because in most cases, the developers or publishers at least are sending me games for free. So if you're just telling me to go check out your game and it costs money, if I actually spend the time to go find that on my own and it costs money, I'm not going to be happy. Because I'm not going to buy it. I mean, thirdly, in theory or ideally, you would also include some sort of press kit or, bundle of images, video footage, trailer, whatever. Not always required, but especially useful, especially if you're not including the other stuff. Like if you're not going to put much in your email, there damn well better be a press kit there that tells me everything I could possibly need to know about your game. But lastly is my main point. Don't lie to me. And I don't mean upselling, selling, or anything like that, or even normal sucking up. Like for a while, it's pretty clear, like certain developers do more and more to suck up to YouTubers, and I understand, it's hard to get coverage, and I mean, like even if it were the same person contacting me, clearly I'm not covering their games yet. And so they're trying to find a way to make that happen. Whatever. But well, first of all, the sucking up stuff, I mean, it's transparent as can be in the first place, and I just roll my eyes at it. But lately I've been getting some blatant lies, and I'm not even going to pull up my email to actually look at examples simply because I'm not trying to call anyone specific out here, because it's been a pattern in emails recently that's really starting to bother me, and so I'm addressing the pattern and not calling anybody specific out. But I've had quite a few emails recently that have said something along the, that literally lies to me about what, like how they come across me or how they know my videos or channel. I had one who said that, they've been a long time passive fan of my channel, they've watched all of my videos, and it's really funny that they've been a fan of my channel for so long and they never really thought to like interact or contribute. They called it a contribution, contribute much. But now that they've developed a game, they're gonna send me a game. They've been a long time fan of my channel. It'd be pretty freaking clear there's no reason to believe that I'm gonna play, at least on camera, your video game. When have I done that in the past year? Answer, I haven't. Pretty sure the only game I really reviewed this year was Dragon Age 2, which I started in 2014. Came out forever ago, but I was already playing it and I just wanted to review it because I like reviewing the games that I play. And that's something I paid money for because it's an old game and I just wanted to play it. It's not even a game I got for free. Now again, I do plan on bringing back the indie game stuff on the main channel. I did start trying to put those press releases into an indie games news site, but it's a lot of work and I don't have any help for it, and so at the moment it's been totally empty. If someone wants to help with that, we can discuss it. Comment down below. You gotta have experience and know what you're doing with writing. I mean, you don't have to have had like professional jobs or anything, but you gotta know what you're doing or you can't do it. I'm not, like, if you can't write complete sentences and stuff on your own, then you definitely have no business doing helping. But if you are interested, do contact me. But I do plan on starting that stuff back up. But usually they're contacting me about my main channel, which is now a tech review channel. And it's going to stay that way because that's what the channel was clearly meant to be, because that's what's brought it the most success. So if you're a long-term fan of Epos Space Box, in my channel, then it would be clear that I'm not playing your mobile games or indie games, or usually the worst ones are mobile games. That's what makes it worse, because I don't even play mobile games in the first place. And that's probably why they need to suck up so much, because no one wants to freaking cover them. But then there was this other one, and again, I don't want to call any specifics out, because I think there were actually two. I don't know if it was the same person with different wording, or if they were two with like the same strategy. But there was another one that said something about there was someone's presentation at GDC, which is the Game Developers Conference, that specifically mentioned me as a good YouTuber to contact for this kind of thing. Excuse me? Well, A, there's no way in hell. B, there's no way in hell because of the reasons I've listed before, in that I don't do this kind of thing at the moment. See, I would surely hope to hell that if I got a shout out or some sort of big mention at GDC, I would find out some other way before now other than some random mobile developer contacting me. So where the hell do you get off lying to me about that and expecting me to buy that and be like, oh, someone at GDC said I'm the right YouTuber to contact to cover a game, let's do it. What the fuck? How is that acceptable? It doesn't even make sense for these random indie game developers to be long-term fans of my channel like they all claim to be. They can't all be, and none of them have participated in the comments. So why the fuck aren't you commenting? If you really want to suck up, you should probably actually build a presence on the channel or on my Twitter, or interact with me some other way other than cold calling my email and then pretending we're best friends. That's like me literally, like, say I'm looking for a job, because that's kind of what this is they're looking for their game to get covered, just kind of like them looking for a job. Let's say I'm looking for a job. I find a company, let's just pick IGN. IGN is like the worst company in the world to me at the moment, but it'd be a fucking blast to work there. So let's say I wanted to go work at IGN. I call the head of recruiting or whoever in HR, whoever wants to hire people for IGN. I call them up and then start lying to them about how we knew each other from some party, or I have a relative in common with them or something. I'm just like, you don't remember Aunt Susie and blah blah blah, or cousin Jimmy, and pretend that we're best friends or relatives or we met at some party to somehow think that means I'm gonna get the job. A, they're not gonna know who the hell I am, and I'm just gonna look like a freak. B, it's not gonna work. That's nepotism, but I mean, don't apply that. The indie game developers aren't pretending they're my relative, at least not yet, but they're not going to give me the job just because I suddenly pretend I know them. It's not how it works. And it gets even more like depressing and just demotivating when it's always really sucky stuff. I don't want to call anybody out, and I don't want to insult anybody in particular, but I get sent a lot of really bad or really cheesy or really uninspired or just really pointless games. There's a lot of games that I'll never enjoy that I get sent. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games, both already in my Steam library from this and in my email, and most of them are bad. And so to know that I'm being sent really bad games, and they're trying their damnedest to pretend that there's a reason I should care, and it's a false reason other than, hey look, I made a great game. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe their games don't sell themselves because they're bad, and they need another reason. But it just drives me insane. So if you're an indie developer, or even a publisher, but if you're an indie, someone working with an indie game and you're looking to contact YouTubers, just be honest. Put together a professional, it can be a template. Templates are fine. It's considered like, make it a press release. Don't try to make it personal. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. And then when the nameplate screws up, or you say like, hi, Epos Fox, tech reviews, blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's not my fucking name. My name isn't Epos Fox gameplay and reviews. My name's not Epos and Chew let's vlog together. That just ultimately failed at the personalization. Or when they're freaking sending, for whatever reason, there's a weird Google Plus issue tied to my adam@eposvox.com website. So despite the fact that it says adam@eposvox.com, and if they did any sort of like glance at my channel, I'm Adam, they address it to Kara, which is my fiance, Chew, because sometimes in Google Plus for people it shows up as Kara instead of Adam Taylor. So they address it to that. And then they still spew the same bullshit about how great they like my gameplay videos, and they want me to cover their game. Kara doesn't cover indie games either, sorry. But anyway, if you're one of those people, be honest, put together a press release, describe your game, give as much information as you can and as briefly as you can to try to sell it. Maybe have a trailer. If you already have a trailer, just link it or embed it by YouTube. All you gotta do is paste the link and Gmail will pop it up and be like, look, a YouTube video, and I'll watch it. I'll watch a trailer before I read half the bullshit that I get. Put together press kit. It takes like 5 minutes if you take some screenshots of your game. If you don't mind giving people the actual trailer footage or just some random footage, put it in a zip. Either upload it to the email if it's small enough, or upload it to your server or to Dropbox even. Like, Dropbox is fine, Google Drive is fine, Mediafire, hell, is fine, Mega is fine. Upload it, say here's the press kit, link, click, there's a PDF with basically that entire press release. There's some images and some video I can work with if I need some assets. And if you want to go above and beyond like the really professional people do, have transparent PNGs of your various characters and your icons and your logo. That way I can actually make a video with your assets without going to Google Images and finding the low resolution garbage and then misrepresenting your stuff as being crap because you didn't want to give it to me. And it'd take too long to actually contact you. But just say what your game is, maybe talk about what inspired you to make it, if it's your first game, if you developed it solo, if there's only 3 of you, whatever, where you're from, even about a little bit of background about your studio, either at the very top or very bottom, that's fine. Describe your game. What genre does it fit into? Or sometimes it's multiple genres. Don't try to sell it as a retro-inspired game. That's a downside for 99% of us. That's not a good thing because there are so many of them, because that means I didn't have a graphics budget, or I didn't feel like messing with it, or I'm completely unoriginal. So don't try to sell it as a good thing of being retro inspired. You can technically use that as an adjective, but don't use it defensively. Just use it for honesty. Describe the gameplay, describe what you can do. Describe, or, list when it's going to come out, or if it's already out, tell when it released. That's still useful information. Whether it's on Steam, whether it's on Desuro, I don't think Desuro exists anymore, maybe. What platform are you selling through? How much is it going to cost? Do you have other platform releases coming soon? That might be something I need to mention in the video. If you have a Kickstarter, include that. Don't ask me to go promote your Kickstarter for a game that you're not going to tell me much about, because I'm just going to say fuck you and archive your email. But provide information. Instead of sucking up to me, instead of pretending that you're my best friend or that you care about my channel and my videos that you clearly haven't watched because what you're describing does not fucking exist, put together some solid fucking information that tells me about your game. And even if I think at a glance, hey, this is gonna suck, I'm gonna give it a fair shot because you sold it. You actually sold it. I mean, I may be unimpressed, but you gave me a reason to play it simply by giving me reasons to play it in the email. Sorry this has been pretty ranty and somewhat angry, but hopefully I put some gameplay over or something to make it easier to process. I'm probably gonna use AAA stuff just to really rub it in someone's face. I don't know. No, I don't know what game I'll use. But thanks for watching. I hope somebody watches this and learns something from this. And I don't mean to offend anybody, but it's almost insulting to look at that kind of stuff and think that somebody thinks that's gonna work. For anybody, not just somebody, for anybody to think that's going to work. And it's so, and maybe it does work for the gaming, for channels who truly just cover indie games. Maybe that works because it's 100% appropriated for them. But then that makes it so much more blatantly obvious that it's not adapted or personalized for me, despite the fact that it's pretending its ass off to look that way. Because that's not what my channel and stuff is about. And once we finish moving, as you can see, everything is a disaster at the moment. Once we finish moving and I get set up to do gaming stuff again, I'm happily gonna go through this giant ass backlog and cover everything I possibly can. But if your email's that bad, I'm probably, and especially if there's not a link to it. If there's not a link to it, there better damn well be a link or a Steam key, and it better be free, or I'm moving on. If there's not a link, I'm moving on. If you're going to either only provide a link or, not be that generous with it, and you're just gonna spew bullshit and, instead of actually telling me about your game, your email's never getting looked at again. And so those are sometimes, not always, but those are often the same people who send follow-up emails and are like, hey, I reached out about this game, you're gonna look at it? No, fuck you, shut the fuck up and leave me alone. I don't know you. You clearly don't watch my content. I'm not going to spend the time, because there's hundreds of you every week. I'm not going to spend the time to email you back and be like, sorry, and try to explain why I'm not covering your game and why your email is bullshit. You sent it out. If you treat it like a press release instead of trying to get in someone's pants, it works a lot better. Okay, rant officially over. We're good. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what kind of gaming content you do want to see if you're a normal subscriber still watching this somehow. Like I said, I'm trying to do more than just the random commentaries because this makes it more me. And I want to talk about gaming stuff. It's been a long time. And I think that's what one of my podcast things might turn into. So Be on the lookout for stuff, subscribe, like, etc. And if you're an indie game developer, don't be afraid to email me. Send me your game. Send me it. Tell me about it. Just don't say like, oh, I mean, if you watch this video, if you genuinely watch this video and are like, hey, thanks for that, or you don't have to thank me, but, you know, address that you watched this video, that's great. You clearly watched this video. If you're gonna be like, oh, I love your gaming coverage or your gaming videos or your indie game channel, I'm just gonna be like, what are you talking about? Because that doesn't exist. I keep adding points, so I'm gonna go now.
Bye, guys.